retain for gains. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about white tantra today, okay? Now, what is white tantra? White tantra is basically the act of engaging in intercourse without releasing. It's that simple. It's that simple, okay? Now, for my guys that are in a committed and loving relationship, and I do not mean in a relationship in which you're with a succubus spirit, okay? Because some of y'all could be in that. I'm not saying everyone, but some people could be in that relationship, okay? Where you're with a person just because you find her very attractive and it gets nasty, okay? I do not advocate for that, and I'll tell you why. If you are in a relationship and your foundation of the relationship is based on lust, it is based on all these abnormal fetishes we have nowadays, especially with the advent of prawn, all these kinky fetishes, what it could do is it could rewire your brain to think very abnormally. Especially, guys, I don't know if you've been seeing this stuff online, but bro, men that are going out there and fucking advocating for all this bullshit where they have their wives and they're just doing weird shit, bro, I'm not with that, man. I'm not with that shit, man. And I'll tell you why, bro. I'll tell you why right now. Your sexuality, the way you actually go out and exuberate your energy, is basically putting wood in the fire. The more wood you put in the fire, the more the fire burns, to the point where you could burn down a whole forest. Okay? That's exactly how it is with sex. If you are engaging in intercourse every single day, okay? And you take no breaks, and every single time you are releasing, expect to actually become weakened as a man. Now, if you go and look at people like Elon Musk talks about this in his interview, where I'm gonna just paraphrase what he said, where a man and woman should get into an intimate time for reproduction. Honestly, if your goal is to reproduce, release. That's fine. But if you're just trying to get into your vices and you're releasing all the time, bro, I'm telling you, a disconnect happens, and I'll tell you why. Your energy, right? Your energy, your life force energy is your sexual energy. Pay close attention to what I'm telling you guys. Your life force energy is your sexual energy. Man, someone just pull up on me right now. Okay. Now, if you keep releasing your energy and your essence starts to diminish, you will see a cognitive dissonance. You will see a rebellion with you and your partner. That's just how it is. This is why a lot of couples right nowadays are not happy. How many times have you gone out and you've seen a couple, bro? I've seen this over and over again. How many times have you gone out and you've seen a couple that just go out to a restaurant and they don't even talk? Some of these couples literally hate each other. I'm not even joking with y'all. Go and talk to some of these couples. Bro, most of these people, especially with the recession that's here right now, y'all know what I'm talking about. You guys know what the fuck the economy is. Bro, some people are just together for financial reasons. There's nothing more to it, bro. There's literally nothing more to it. There's a lot of these couples, man, they really despise each other. And the reason why a lot of these couples despise each other on a subconscious level is because the woman, the people that are engaged in this act, and just pure vice, okay? The woman is not as magnetic and the man is not as electric. They're out of their element. So once you get out of your element, you stop to attract one another. Now, I'm not telling you, pay close attention to what I'm telling you guys. I'm not telling you guys to fully quit having a loving relationship. I'm all for it. But my guys, practice with your pelvic muscles. Practice to retain. Practice to move the energy up. Do you know how powerful you become as a man? If you are engaged in intercourse, in a loving relationship, again, the key is a loving relationship. I'm not just talking about finding someone at a nightclub and you're out and you're like trying to, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about someone you know. You got to really know this person who you're with. Okay, you got to really know this person. You got to really talk to them. Check out their insecurities. Check out who they've been with. You got to know. Bro, some of these people, bro, you know, the people that you've been with before, like let's say I'm with a woman, right? And the men that she's been with before, their energy's with that woman. It's with, I'm not, bro, this is some spiritual stuff that I'm talking to you guys about. That energy stays with the woman for a very long time. Unless she does some very, very deep cleansing. It could take literally years. It could take years for her to clean. And even with men, vice versa. So what I'm telling you guys right now, if you pay close attention, you really want to know who you're going into bed with. This is not a joke. This is not a joke. White Tantra is one of the best ways to actually have a loving relationship in which it's like, and by the way, yo, I'm not saying you guys can't get, no, it's okay. If you gotta know the limits. You gotta know the limits. Some people, man, some people, not you guys, but like some people really have some fucking weird fetishes, bro. And the reason why some people have such weird fetishes is because they keep watching porn. If you keep watching porn, you're gonna have an abnormal mind. You're gonna think of things that are way out of context. And once you get way out of context, bro, you're gonna fucking become a weirdo, bro. You're gonna fucking become a weirdo. Not you guys, but like the people that are so engaged in their lower carnal mind. This is why I'm an advocate for White Tantra. Like, I think White Tantra is beautiful. I really do. Now, if you're releasing here and there, I'm not saying that's okay, but I'm not saying that's wrong either. Okay? You know your body, you know your relationship, you know what you got to do. I'm not here to give you that type of advice. Okay? I'm not here to tell you that. But if you are having relationship problems, like serious relationship problems, like if you're with a woman or you're with a man, you're having serious relationship problems, you could try to just for the first 2 months, just not engage in any sexual activity. Retain. And when you start to engage again after a month or two, start practice. It's like an exercise. You're gonna have to start practicing with your pelvic muscles. You're gonna have to get strong. You're gonna have to gain some strength in you. Once you start to gain strength, you'll start to notice that all this stuff, all these majority of the problems that you might be facing in your relationship is because you keep letting go of your life force energy, inner chi. Okay? Retain for gains. That's about it. Have a good one. Masturbating is a humiliating ritual. I said it. Now, this might trigger some of you guys, and in today's generation, you have to give the trigger warning because so many people are fucking soft and you just can't really speak the truth how it's supposed to be spoken, but I'm going to speak the truth. Masturbation, touching yourself, trying to please yourself, is a humiliating ritual, and I'll tell you why. I want you to think about it. When you do not masturbate, you are collecting energy. You're conserving energy. Energy can't be destroyed, so you're conserving it and you're bringing it up your chakra points. Okay? And once you're doing that, you are thriving because you actually have the motivation to go out and seek real partnership. Okay? That's what really happens. Psychologically speaking, when you constrain your desires, you have more motivation to actually go out and speak to people and learn social skills and put yourself out there in positions where you first might feel uncomfortable, but you slowly start getting better at it. Now, the opposite of that is masturbation. What does masturbation do? Okay, first of all, it depletes you of your vital life force, energy, inner chi. Okay? It depletes you of your creative force. It depletes you of your physical strength, and I really mean it. One of the times when I was the most strongest was when I was on a 11-month streak. A couple days more, a couple days less. When I was on that streak, I was at my physical peak. Now, you have to understand that this is not normal. Masturbate. I do not care what you see on YouTube. On mainstream YouTube, whatever you type down and you see on the first 2 pages, oh, it's healthy for you, you need to release, you need to do this. No, it's not. We live in a hypersexualized society where almost every single thing has been hypersexualized. It was never like this in ancient history. If you look through ancient history, sex was a very sacred thing. Your sexual energy was always sacred. And the ancients knew to actually value it. Now, when you masturbate, what are you doing? You're putting your hand on your private part, which have completely different temperatures, which are completely not meant to, your hand is not meant to please your private part. It's not meant to do that. Just imagine what you're going through. You most likely are doing this because you are unable to attract a partner. Because if you are able to attract a partner and then you're masturbating, that to me is completely weird. Because you're not just doing yourself injustice, you're doing the other person injustice too. Think about it. When you actually do this, when you actually engage in this act, you are taking a part of your masculinity out of your body. That's what's actually going on. I know this is deep. I get it. Sometimes what happens is that our pleasures dominate us to a point where the truth becomes irrelevant. Listen to that again. Sometimes our pleasures dominate us to a point where the truth becomes irrelevant. But the truth never dies. The truth lives on. The truth elevates. Lust is not the problem of the body. Lust is actually a problem of how the mind works at times, how the imagination works. This same imagination, imagine how strong sexual energy is. Imagine if you were to take this energy and actually put it into a craft, put it into an actual art, put it into an actual career, put it into an actual relationship. An actual relationship, right? Where you could be actually enjoying real pleasure. This is why in even today's society, so many men have a problem with pleasing their woman. It's so common. And you know what? I actually, you know how there's a mainstream media stat where they're like the number one reason why people get divorced is because of finances? Actually, that's number two. Did you know that I was listening? I think it was to one dude or something. I read this where the number one reason why people actually get divorced is because of lack of sexual intimacy, sexual relationship. Think about that. Think about how deep that actually is. So, and I think a lot of times men just think that we're very sexual. That's not the case. That's really not the case. It's in both genders. Sexual energy is founded in both genders. And honestly, if you're the type of dude that knows how to attract women, you know that women really want to be actually loved in a certain way. But if you're a man that is stuck in his own vice, stuck in watching filth, that's a whole different topic, by the way. I have videos on that. You can go on my channel, watch these videos that I talk about the stuff. I talk about the stuff, and I'm telling you, masturbation is not normal. It is not. They want you to think it's normal because you know what it does? It literally isolates you from the public. It actually makes you a fucking like. It turns you into a weirdo. I'm just being bluntly honest. I'm not gonna sugar. If you're on my channel and you want me to be like, oh no, you're just no. It turns you into a weirdo. It really does. And I'm saying this with all empathy. I don't mean to. I'm not here to judge people. I'm not judging you. Everyone has their own life story. Everyone's going through some shit. Okay. And I'm not judging you on a moral basis. That's not my thing. I'm not going to do that. I let God do that, okay? But what I can tell you is that this is something that is not primordial to us men. What's primordial to us men is to going out there, being hunter-gatherers, and actually finding a woman that you could actually make love with. That's fine. That's actually okay. But in today's society, if you're the type of dude that is, which is, by the way, that's the vast majority of dudes, like, that's what they're doing. That's how they seek pleasure, okay? If your way to seeking pleasure is to touch yourself, or you're coming up with bullshit excuses like, yo, I don't have time for a girl. I don't have time. You don't have time for a girl because you are using your hand. And I don't mean you specifically, but I'm talking about the guys that are doing this. How are you supposed to get the motivation to go to the gym, to better your body? How are you supposed to get the motivation to better yourself financially? How are you supposed to get the motivation to put yourself out there if all you're going to do is to please yourself, to just pleasure yourself with your hand? If that's what you're doing, then you're going to have an imbalance in your dopamine levels and you're going to give up. This is why I'm telling guys, lock in. Don't listen to the mainstream narrative where they tell you that it's okay to do this. It's not okay to do this. It's really not. And listen to me. Last year, when I did my 11 months, that year I made the most money. That year I made the most money. And that year, I actually gave a woman a chance to be with me. I gave a woman a chance to be with me that year when I retained. And I'm not saying, here's one more thing. I'm going to tell you guys something, okay? I don't want you to take this as a misconception where you're like, you're doing this just to get women. No. You're actually doing this to improve yourself. And by default, when you improve yourself, you become magnetic. And I have another video on magnetism. It is real. It is real. You just become magnetic. Women start thinking about you more. Women want to be with you more. Women actually freaking love you when you do this, because the thing with women is women are very intuitive. Women are very, very intuitive. You don't have to tell a woman, you're like this, you're like that. You don't have to tell her anything. You can even talk shit about yourself to a woman, but if she knows you're a real one, she'll fucking love you. I'm just being honest. I'm telling you guys honestly. So, in all reality, guys, lock in. Masturbating is a humiliating ritual. It's a fucking ritual. And I'm telling you, it's not normal. If you want to actually elevate in consciousness, and you want to elevate in your life with finances, with relationships, with your physical health, that's a big one. Your physical health. If you're on retention and you're going to the gym, you're on some next, like, your energy, like, the way you could actually elevate is crazy. It's crazy. Have yourself a good one, eh? Take care.